Hello everybody and good morning and welcome to the Talkessel circuit here at Teussental in Germany. It's round 8 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Germany. And on our MXGP TV studio show today, we have the MX2 Championship points leader, Pauls Jonass. We've got Arminas Jasikonis coming in and also the team manager for the MX2 side of the garage at Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing, Jacky Martens. Joining me as always is Lisa Leyland. And Lisa, 8 rounds in, and I tell you what, it's been pretty exciting so far, hasn't it? It's not been a dull moment, and we're not even halfway.
Not at all.
Still plenty more to come.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun, and it has. We've had everything so far, haven't we? And I can't imagine what the second part of the season's going to be like. It's been pretty action-packed, hasn't it?
It has, and I tell you what, Latvia was dramatic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it put a spanner in the works, didn't it? It put a spanner in the championship because everything's, you know, Courtsy were out.
Yeah.
Geiser was in the wars as well, so it does make things a bit interesting, doesn't it? So, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, let's get on with the show then. And time to meet our first guest, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing's Pauls Jonass. And
hello, everybody.
Welcome to, before we start actually, were you here when the storms arrived yesterday?
Yeah, I was here. We were just having a dinner in the Red Bull Energy Station, and it was, yeah, it was crazy. I thought that everything is going to fly away. It was so strong winds and then rain. It was not normal.
Yeah.
It was strange.
But it looks okay now, though.
Yeah, it was strange because we went for a track walk, then it started to rain a little bit. And then we thought, okay, it's going to be a storm now, but then it just went away. And after 1 hour, and it started again.
And it started.
Yeah, big time.
But it does look okay at the moment. But, right, let's get on with the show. You've had 1 week off now since the last GP at home. How was the home GP for you in Latvia?
Actually, it was, you know, overall when you look to the points, and it looks like it was really good. But actually, I didn't feel so good because I was sick week before Latvia, and then I still struggled a little bit in the GP. But overall, you know, it went pretty good. You know, I got third and first, so I won in front of my home crowd, and it was nice to get a win. But you know, for sure, I wanted to hear the Latvian anthem, but yeah, you cannot. Yeah, I get everything, but still I was pretty happy about the weekend, and it was not easy, you know, a little bit stressed from the home GP, then sick and everything, but you know, now we are in Germany and just need to look forward. We still have many races to go. Cannot relax. We need focus.
Well, you arrived at home 19 points in front of Jeremy, and you came away from there 42 points now coming into Germany. Obviously helped by the fact he had a DNF in the second race, but from that side, in terms of the points, the championship, it went to plan. Yeah,
you know, that's what I say. You know, I was really not happy with my riding, but when you looked at the points, it looks like it was a great GP. You know, and now I have 42 points lead, so that's pretty big gap. But yeah, it's only 8 rounds, and we still have many races to go, so nothing is over. It's just yeah, the real battle starts now, I think.
Yeah. How was the track actually?
It was actually pretty tough. They put some sand on the top, but still, you know, underneath it was hard pack, and like always, you know, typical Kagons track. So it was tough for physically and also for the bike. You know, it was difficult to find a perfect setup, but that's like a typical Kagons. So it was difficult, but you know, there you can see who is strong and who's not.
Yeah. Well, you've never won your home GP. Like you said, it would have been nice to have the national anthem. But how cool was it to at least win the second race?
Yeah, you know, it was really good to win the second moto, because after first moto, when I got passed in the last lap by Jeremy, it was I was so disappointed and so mad at myself. But after second moto, I was happy that I could manage to get a win. You know, it was still disappointing, because if I wouldn't let him by, then I would get an overall. But you know, you cannot wish to get everything.
Sure.
The MX2 class is a pretty stacked field with a lot of potential winners. But realistically, from your side, would you say that it would just be you and Jeremy in the title fight?
No, I don't think so, because we are only 8 rounds in. We still have many races to go, and everything can happen. You have seen in the past, you know, with the Jeffrey, you can have a 100 points, over 100 points lead, and just you know, get injured or something can happen, you know. And no, but there's so many guys who can get a win. Also, like last week in Latvia, Thomas ride really good, and there are many guys who can get a win in some GP.
And how intense was that first race? I know you mentioned it, you were quite disappointed with Jeremy passing you. But how intense was it for you, especially in front of your home crowd?
Yeah, you know, home crowd, that always puts some extra pressure on my shoulders. And yeah, you can see now in the past that, yeah, it was tough to get you know, ready for the second moto because I was disappointed about that. But that maybe put some extra fight in myself for the second one. But it was tough. Like I also mentioned, I was sick week before, so I was not physically 100% ready, and that also made it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and how's your new trainer? Because there's you, you're very polite, quiet, respectful, and then there's Mark Deruva. How does that even work with the two of you?
I think also many people now see Mark from a little bit different side, you know. Because when I start working with him, many people said, yeah, what you do, you're crazy or what, you know. But you know, when we arrive at the track, it's only, you know, we are focused on the riding and everything. Okay, when we go back from the practice or from the race, we can have fun and, you know, joke around. But when we are a race, it's a race time, so we are fully focused on racing. And also Mark, and yeah, I really enjoy working with him. Also, you know, we are now a really good team. I have my practice mechanical, my mechanical Red Bull KTM factory team, then physical trainer Willie Linden, Mark is there, physiotherapist, osteopath. So I have a really good team, and all the puzzles are together, or the pieces of puzzle are together.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some questions for you, Pauls. One is from Whip It Like Geiser, and just picking up on what you were saying, how much has it helped having Mark Deruva as a trainer?
You know, first, actually, when I started working with him, I asked him to give me some tips for riding in Lommel, because that was before the GP of Lommel last year. So, but then, you know, we went to some hard pack tracks, and I was like, oh, he can tell also some things in the hard pack. And then, you know, it started from there, and we worked together all winter, and that helps a lot. You know, he take off the pressure from my shoulders when he needs, and you know, he kick my sometimes. So.
Yeah, good to know. Right, we've got another question. Kasich 1987. Do you ever ride a 350 or 450? If so, how does it feel?
No, actually, yeah, I ride 450. That was many years ago, because lately I haven't ridden 350 or 450. I haven't practiced on those bikes. I know many people practice on, you know, many riders practice in the winter time with 450s or 350s, but I still haven't done that. So yeah, not so much experience with that.
Yeah, some riders, like say, ride them just to maybe improve their 250 ride, but you don't need that.
No. You know, we have a really good 250 bike. KTM built a really good bike, and for me, that's just a perfect bike for a winter training and every time of the year.
All right. Well, look, we are in Germany. You've never been on the podium here in MX2, but you have won here in the EMX 125s back in 2014. So is this you know, how do you feel about this circuit? Is it one of your favorite circuits, or is it one of those where you just think, you know what, it's maybe not my best circuit, let's just settle for points and think about the championship? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, maybe I'm not the best hardpack rider, as you know, but lately we have been riding a lot on hardpack, and, you know, I quite enjoy it. And maybe this is not my favorite track, but still I enjoy it. And I think now with the rain, there will be some really nice and deep ruts. It's gonna be really technical. So I think that will help a little bit for me. We will see how the track develops. But yeah, for sure, the main goal is just to get the good points, and yeah, like always, stay on two wheels and be focused just on myself.
Okay, they're just watering the track over there.
I think that's not really necessary now.
I'm only joking. Well, look, Pauls, thanks for joining us here today. All the best for this weekend and the rest of the season. Pauls Jonass, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Right, before we meet our next guest, Arminas Jasikonis, let's take a look at some of the highlights from Latvia 2 weeks ago. Here's highlights from MX2 Race 2. MX2 Race 2 in Latvia, and once again it was Prado with the foxhole shot. Close behind him, his teammate Pauls Jonass. Brent Van Donnick was buried in the mid-pack. Prado led once again. Jeremy Seawer fell at turn 1 and also on the opening lap, and that would have dire consequences for the Suzuki rider later on in the race, as Jonass took over the lead. Thomas Covington gave chase on the number 41. After a hard charge through the field, he was feeling confident on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, was the American. Julian Lieber was also well placed in 4th. Found his way into 3rd with a pass on Prado. On lap 4, Thomas Covington charged up the inside of Jonass to get himself into the lead, and he started to pull clear. Jeremy Seewer, meanwhile, had to retire with a damaged rear end after the crash early on in the race. Thomas Kjær Olsen found his way past Conrad Muse to get himself into 5th after a poor start. The Grand Prix was on the line. And on the deck was Thomas Covington, falling from the lead and eventually down to 17th. Julian Lieber then hit the deck from 2nd. He would eventually come home in 8th on the LRT KTM, after being caught and passed in the closing stages by the number 6 of Benoit Paturel, who went on to finish in 6th place, just ahead of Darian Sanai. A great ride for Conrad Muse on the 426 Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Saw him charge past Prado to get himself into 3rd, which is where he would stay. And chasing down the final podium place was the number 10 of Calvin Valandren on the HSF Logistics Motorsport KTM. He got himself into 4 with 2 laps to go, and that would be good enough to get himself on the podium for the first time in MX2. Well, taking a first ever race win at home was the number 41 Red Bull KTM of Pauls Jonass, ahead of Thomas Kjær Olsen and Conrad Muse. But it was Olsen who stood on the podium for the first time as a winner in MX2. Championship now extended. Pauls Jonass 42 points clear of Jeremy Seewer. But what a great day for Thomas Kjær Olsen and Calvin Valandren, getting on the podium for the first time. Well, that was Latvia 2 weeks ago, and obviously round 7, and what a weekend it was as well. But right, time to move on with our next guest. Of course, he rides for Team Suzuki World MXGP, the Lithuanian Arminas Jasikonis, and another newcomer, first timer on the show. I feel like I'm presenting a dating show here. Come on, contestant number 2, tell us who you are and where do you come from? Just give us a little bit of background information, you know, where you're from, when you started riding, first bike, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm from Lithuania. It's many people don't know maybe this country, but it's a nice country, and I'm coming from Lithuania, 19 years old. Came to Suzuki last year as Ben Townley got injured, so they took me for a ride, and then yeah, they took me for another year to ride here, and we worked hard on the winter, so good season, and we started quite good this year, so it's going step by step forward.
So how long have you been racing then? When did you get your first bike? When was your first race?
I was 4 when I got my bike. It was small bike. Was hard to start because I still couldn't hold on 2 wheels.
Don't tell me you weren't big enough.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
And
were you surprised to get that call from Stefan asking you to join Suzuki for the last 6 GPs last year?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was always my dream. I was dreaming, and actually at that point I still couldn't believe, even when I got on that bike on Suzuki, you know, for practicing, it was still unbelievable, you know. For like 2 weeks I was like, what's going on, you know? Yeah.
You said you couldn't believe it, but were you even more surprised that they kept you on for this year?
Yeah, of course. When the day that Stefan told me, yeah, we want to work with you for the next year, it was like, yeah, this is coming, of course, hard work, but this is something dream comes true, you know.
But I guess from your side, you hadn't ridden that many Grand Prix, had you, before? I'd seen your name, obviously I'd seen you in England, riding some rounds of the British Championship, saw your name occasionally in MX2 GPs, but you hadn't ridden that many world rounds before Lockett last year.
No, I started GPs, it was my first GP last year at Valkenswaard. It was my first ever GPs. And before I did just Nations. And yeah, that was last year, the first time I came there. But before I was riding just English Championship, German Championship, like more local races.
Let's talk about Latvia then. Obviously, you don't have a home Grand Prix. This is the closest you get to a home race. How was it, that second race? Whole shot, you led. Eventually, you know, finished 3rd. What was it like for you as a rider to experience that for the first time?
Yeah, it's another big dream come true, you know. Taking whole shot, leading like for 10 minutes of the Jaffrey and Tony and all those big stars, you know. Actually a year ago I could not even think about it, you know. It was something really crazy, but we worked hard all winter, and this gives a lot, you know. We worked so much with Stefan, so that's something what proves, you know, that you can reach a lot when you work really from your heart.
Would you say it's the best experience, the best feeling you've had on a motorcycle? You know, leading a World Championship race for the first time, battling with the likes of Jeffrey, with Tony, and Tim, you know, and coming away with a third place finish.
Yeah, for sure. That's my favorite. You know, for after that weekend, that was my favorite race ever, and the best race ever. You know, it's the top.
Yeah, I saw the images on social media. I think Stefan maybe posted it when you came back to the awning, and all the fans were there and cheering, like they were pleased, and obviously I know you were as well. So it was nice to see that. Yeah,
the fans were really crazy and nice, and not even Lithuanians, even Latvians and Estonian people, they were really cheering for me in that moto. That was actually all track when I went, you know, they were just supporting me. Yeah.
And you do seem to be riding with a lot more confidence at the moment. Do you think that is because you ran up front in Valkenswaard in race 1?
Yeah, it's you know, it's getting experience for me. It's every race I'm getting better and better, so it's good.
Just looking at Valkenswaard here, and what were you thinking when you were closing in on Tim? He'd already had a fall, but you know, like you say, a year ago you wouldn't have dreamed of being in this position. But the 2 San races, you've shown us some speed, some fitness, and a real dedication. What are you thinking at this point?
Yeah, just get up front. You know, I felt good physically, and I was like, yeah, I have to do this. You know, I feel physically good, and my riding fits at that track, so I was feeling great, and yeah, I was just moving forward. You know, I didn't look who he is, or he's Tim or Jeffrey. I don't care. You know I can beat him that moment. You know, so I go for it.
Yeah. And obviously, it was a good pass at the bottom of the hill. But I mean, we know you as a sand rider. Okay, you prefer riding sand. What about places like this? You know, in hard pack tracks. Is that where you need to do a little bit more work?
Yeah, of course I need to improve, but I think with a good start we can have a good race. I'm sure about it, you know, because I improved also in winter on hard pack skills, so I'm sure we can do it.
Okay, well, more from Arminas in a moment. Quick look at our competition this week. Hands up if you've never been to Ernée. Well, that's the home of the Fiat Professional MXGP of France in a week's time. And MXGP and Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing's Gauthier Paulin are celebrating the return to Ernée with a like and share competition. For the chance to win 3 paddock passes for the Fiat Professional MXGP of France, all you have to do to win this amazing prize is like at MXGP and at Gauthier Paulin on Facebook. Like and share the Facebook post and share your best memories regarding the hashtag MXGP or hashtag MXON. Everybody who likes and shares the post and likes MXGP and Gauthier Paulin on Facebook will go into the draw to win. And the winner will be drawn on Monday, 22nd of May. So good luck with that.
Okay, well, back to you, Arminas. Let's talk about Germany. After Latvia, do you perhaps feel a little bit more relaxed coming into this round now? Because you seem quite relaxed just chatting to you now. You seem pretty chilled out.
And you also shown us that you have the speed as well.
Yeah, I mean, I always trying to be relaxed, you know. It's not getting stressed before riding, and today is a Saturday. It starts everything quite easy, like free practice and all. And of course, I'm feeling after good race more confident, but still, it's, you know, I know that it's not gonna be easy. You know, it's gonna be another hard work, and I have to really concentrate even more than before.
Okay, well, we have a question on social media for you. This one's from Ryan184, and he says, is there a place in Lithuania that can host a round of MXGP? Do you think this is possible?
I think as we have quite some tracks, and I'm sure we could make it's possible.
Yeah, would you like that?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Cool. Well, look, we are at a time here with Arminas Jasikonis. All the best for today and in the qualifying and the race this weekend, and also for the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us on MXGP TV. Right, in a moment we'll meet our final guest, Jacky Martens from Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing. But before we do, here's some highlights from MXGP Race 2, the MXGP of Latvia. When the gate dropped in MXGP Race 2, it was Arminas Jasikonis for Suzuki World MXGP who grabbed the first foxhole shot of the year for Suzuki. Cairoli was right there in second. Hurling's not too far behind. Jeremy Van Horbeek caught the rear wheel of Paulin whilst placed inside the top 10 on the opening lap. would be a hard charge through the field for the Belgian. Up front, though, Jasikonis led Herlings, Geiser and Bobryshev. As Kairoli started to close in on the Russian. Started to assert his authority as well, as the two fought over 4th place. Jasikonis wondered how long he would stay up front for. He managed to stay there ahead of Herlings for 4 laps. The bullet eventually went through on lap 5, pushing the Lithuanian down to 2nd. He would stay there for 2 laps before Tim Geiser would find his way through. But Kairoli eventually had to get tough, charged his way up the inside of Bobryshev to go 4th, and then went after Jasikonis and Geiser. Geiser made a move to go 2nd. Kairoli started to close in on the 27 as well. DeSalle, meanwhile, was parked in 6th place as Pauls just tipped over. He would eventually come home in 7th after being charged down by his teammate later on in the race. Kairoli got himself into 3rd and went after Geiser, as Anstey, after a poor start in 17th, started to work his way inside the top 10 on the number 99 Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, closely shadowed by the number 12, his teammate Max Nagel. Pauls had the close attentions of Sean Simpson on the Volvo Yamaha, but eventually Simpson would collide with a trackside marker and go down with a hand injury. Another rider to escape serious injury was Tim Geiser. He fell out spectacularly from the race. After getting it wrong through the waves, he would not pick up points in race 2. Kairoli got himself into 2nd, behind his teammate at Red Bull KTM, Jeffrey Herlings, who was once again in a masterful mood in the sand, picking up his 4th victory around this Kegum circuit, his 1st ever in MXGP. Kairoli 2nd, Bobryshev 3rd. That was your podium. Kairoli now leads the championship by 17 points over Geiser. But what a weekend here in Latvia. Jeffrey Herlings winning for the first time in MXGP. Thomas Kjær Olsen also winning for the first time in MX2. Tony Kairoli takes over the championship lead as we head to Germany, round 8. Well, that was 2 weeks ago. Latvia, of course, MXGP category, and our first win of the year for Jeffrey Herlings. Win 62 now for him. All right, our final guest joins us here, Jacky Martens, former world champion, of course, team owner now and team manager for the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing Squad in the MX2 division. Before we go anywhere, Jacky, no Conrad Muse this weekend. I read somewhere he overjumped during training during the week, has an ankle injury. How serious is it?
Yeah, on the X-ray you cannot see on the moment the broken bone or what the problem. And yeah, we decided just stay home because we want to be sure that he can do the same as he did in Latvia, and yeah, give him some time to be better. And yeah, we will see when he comes back. But I want to, when he comes back, that it's 100%. All
right. Well, as a rule, or as a general thing, the riders in the team are doing okay. But let's start with Thomas Covington, because you've got 2 Thomases now, 2 Maxes in MXGP. Yeah. It's going crazy. Thomas Covington, 2nd year now on the team for you. Things are turning around, but the first 3 rounds, he had some up and downs, Qatar and Indonesia, Argentina. What were the problems there with him?
Yeah, Thomas is doing very well. The only thing he had was like all small crashes. Yeah. But he feels that he can go faster. But just, I don't know how, it's just once the heat, the last 6 heats, I think he crashed every heat. And yeah, and it was just small crashes. What means nothing, but yeah, you have no points. Yeah. Or you have to start again from place 16, come back to 6. He's riding very well, but no result. Good result, but not as we thought.
But he did make up for it in Mexico, though.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
How pleased were you with his performance, and also, of course, his race 2 victory and his GP win?
Yeah, Thomas is a good rider, but yeah, when we start working with him, he is our team works different than all the others because yeah, I want that my rider is fit. And yeah, we have also our trainers who is doing the job. And Thomas before, yeah, he was a good talent rider, but yeah, physical, he didn't have so much support. And now we do it with Joël Roelands. And yeah, he did a great job with his strength and everything, and the fitness. He's ready now. And now yeah, we believe 100% in Thomas. He's a fast rider. And this year we have also Rasmus Jurgensen. Dus now we have 2 physical trainers. They do a great job. I just do give some indications, and for the rest, it's yeah, they do perfect. And now our riders of Thomas is growing very well. And then the GP of Mexico, for sure, he was winning a GP before, but that is we try to create a most constant rider during the season, all GPs. And now when with the fitness and yeah, with all the support we give him, he's ready. And for sure, then you are more happy to win a GP with a rider who is yeah as you want. And yeah, for us it was great. It was nice, perfect.
He does seem more confident this year. And do you think it is down to that support, down to the trainers and the whole package, really?
Yes, he's stable now. Yeah. You know, racing is when you have a good day, everything is possible. Everything works out well. But when you have a bad day, then you need the good results, sure. And we create some stability in his riding, and yeah, that is our goal also.
And what about your new signing, Thomas Kjæros and TKO? We saw what he could do last year, but are you surprised by his performances this year, or you know, what are your thoughts?
Surprised for sure. We chose TKO because he's a good rider. Yeah. Last year we had also some good contacts with him. We follow him the whole season on the European, and we sign him for the next years. And but I was surprised how good he's acting. He's working also with Rasmus and Joël. It's just is a perfect combination, and yeah, he's doing very well. He's quiet. He's yeah, is a sportsman.
As a team manager, now that he's achieved that race win and that overall victory, how do you help now maintain that level of intensity? Now that he knows, now that you know, what advice would you give him now?
The advice we give, collect as much as possible points every GP, yeah. And just make progression, and we start like without pressure, nothing, because you know the step from European to the MX2 class, it's very big. Yeah. You have to make minimum 2-3 seconds, and if you make it too quickly or in hurry, it don't bring anything, only injuries. And yeah, we work a lot, just step by step, build up, give progression, make progression, and yeah, now I think we have a good base, and I think now he can start his own thing, and he can go for the first place. Good.
You touched upon it earlier, Conrad. He's not here this weekend, but it has been a mixed season for him so far, hasn't it? He had a poor start to the year. He didn't travel to Mexico. Can you just tell us why that was?
Thomas, Conrad, all the 3 riders working always together. It's train together, practice together, everything. And he did very well in the winter. He made progress with the physical, with everything. And he was ready for the GPs. That's what we thought. And then La Capelle, the international race in France, he did very well, good result. Then the third GP Qatar, and he was like, he blocked. He was like, he cannot do what he normally should do. Yeah. And
but obviously last week, 2 weeks ago, he made up for it with this 3rd place finish. He must have been pleased with that.
Yeah, very nice. But you know, to come back and then we get Qatar, Indonesia. And he was like, he get so much stress. He made by himself, you know. He want to make, he want to do good, And but then after Argentina, I saw he was down. We had a good talk after Argentina. I said to Conrad what we should do. He gave me all the positive and negative information, and then we analyze and we say, okay, you don't go to Mexico. First, you have to be ready, rest, go home, stay with your parents, and go to the tracks where you used to with the friends where you rode before. Yeah. And he came back in Italy, and it was like different person. But good. For sure, in one GP you cannot make it. It needs time. Yeah. And then after Italy, he go back to England. And in Latvia, he did very well. He came in the first practice, free practice, time practice. He was, but now it's a shame that he may have an injury. Sure. But it's racing, you know. Like I hope that the injury heals well, quickly. And but when he comes back, he has to be 100%, and that he can do his job.
All right. Well, look, we are out of time, actually. Probably about a minute over, but no one knows about that. But Jacky Martens, thanks for joining us here, and good luck for the rest of the season with all your riders, and get well soon, Conrad Muse. Thanks also to Pauls Jonass and Arminas Jasikonis. Join us live for qualifying today for 25 on MXGP TV for the MX2 qualifying race, and 5:10 for the MXGP qualifier. We'll hope you enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the racing today, and tomorrow we'll see you next week in France. See you then. Bye for now.